What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich from Big Rich Live on the Mic Radio Show here on YouTube. Welcome to the next installment of What's the Real Deal. It's the end of the week, y'all. This show will actually be up Saturday and Sunday instead of Friday like it usually because Friday was my wedding anniversary and just wasn't around. I was doing bigger and better things, excuse me. And yesterday, which was Saturday, I had a video shoot to do. So we're now Sunday shooting everything. So forgive me for being a couple of days late, but when I got up, I was like, I'll just wait till next week. I was like, no, I got stuff to do. I got stuff to say. I got questions to ask and stuff like that. So this is going to be more on a personal note. It's going to be less about national news and stuff like that. It's going to be a personal note for me. This wasn't recently, but a little while back, it actually came up when I was talking to my wife on Friday, and we was talking about motivation. And this is before I had this show. Myself and another entrepreneur, I'm just going to use his last name. I'm just going to use his first name. His name is Jay, and he's the CEO of Rise, I want to say Media Group right now. We were having a business meeting, and it was downtown Orlando. It was, I want to say, 360, real elegant restaurant. And we was all suited and booted. Anybody who know suited and booted, we both had suits on and ties and stuff like that because we was having a business meeting, a power lunch. So we got there. Both of us on time. We sat down, had a nice little booth in the corner and stuff like that where we had enough table space. He had his laptop. I had my laptop. We had the writing utensils. We greeted each other. We ordered what we needed to order, and we were talking over lunch. So when we was finishing lunch, we moved everything to the side, all the place to the side until the server came up, and we started, conversing back and forth what we were doing. How was I expanding my dignitary protection company, and how he was expanding his media group. So we had a server, younger African American male who, nice clean cut. He had his dreads pulled to the back and it was lined up and stuff. Very astute. He was sort of, if I could use the ghetto term, he was, you sort of he was a little ear hustling. You know what I mean, trying to listen to what was saying. But he was, again, very professional and stuff. So towards the end, he came up to the side and he just stood there real quiet, just stood there like he was waiting for us to break between our conversation. So I looked up at him, Jay looked up at him, and, what you need, what's going on. And he commenced to say that he was watching us, observing us the whole time we was having this power lunch, and that we motivated him. He was striving to be like we were. I bring this story up to say that I get a lot of questions about what can younger African American men and women do to make it. You know what I'm saying? To advance their careers, to do their dreams. And it was sort of funny. I mean, I looked at Jay. Jay looked at me. We told him, that we appreciated that he came up to us and told us that, and meant a lot to us. We both gave him our business cards. We took his numbers. Like, look, any help that you need, any questions, anything like that you can have, or that you have, just holler out, and we'll see what we could do. We see what type of guidance you can bring forth. Another reason I bring that up is that me and Jay really didn't. I mean, okay, I would say I'm not. I don't really even know his finances, but I would say he's at least upper middle class. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. Middle class, upper middle class. So, but solid, But we don't look at each other not necessarily as no big shit. Excuse my French. You know what I'm saying? So it sort of took us, it sort of not impressed us, but it sort of took us aback. It was like, really? I mean, that you're doing something. You know what I'm saying? You know that, you're a CEO of a small business, that you built from the ground up and stuff like that. You know that you're not oblivious to that. But sometimes you forget that what you're doing means something, not only to you, not only to your family, not only to your community, not only to your race, but for people, outside people who you never know is watching you or listening to you. I taken that when I was a cop. I used to, and I learned this very early on in my career, and I used to realize that no matter what I was going through, as long as I was in that car, in that uniform, on the clock, that I needed to make sure that everybody got a positive vibe from me. You follow what I'm saying? Especially kids. Anybody who know me know I don't like kids. I'm just not a kids person, especially other people's kids. People don't discipline their kids the way they supposed to be disciplined. And I'm not talking about capital punishment or anything like that. I'm just saying kids need to be allowed to be kids. Kids shouldn't be in grown folk business. Kids, allow people to be kids. This is why I used to tell my daughter, I was like, you're going to have the rest of your life to be an adult. And being an adult is hard. It's very hard, okay? And sometimes it's not fun at all. So enjoy the time that you can be a child and laugh and joke and play and not really have a care in the world other than keeping your studies going, your grades up, keeping your room clean, that type of stuff right there. You ain't got to worry about going back and forth to work and paying bills and other stuff like that. So I have a little tangent, but that's why I don't like kids. However, I realized that every time a child would see me, white, black, brown, red, old, short, whatever, and they waved or they just looked, I would turn on my lights. If I was in the patrol car, I would, hey, buddy, what's going on, little man? That type of stuff right there. Or laugh when they was laughing, that type of stuff. And I never really allowed it to correlate to my business, because again, I was really self-sufficient. I was introverted, so I really didn't push my business. And really and truly, since I retired in November, I really haven't pushed my business out there to get new clients. It's almost like this is my mother, God rest her soul, vernacular, comfortable. You get comfortable with what you got, and you don't try to roll out there. And I think I'm gonna try to really do something like that and put some more effort in it. But I digress. That's off on a little tangent. But I tell this story as a motivation, to all my brothers and sisters out there, white, black, red, green, whatever. If you are in a position of authority, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a retiree, whatever, you have so much that you can tell and show and open doors for people who are less fortunate and people who are younger than you. It should be a mandate. It should be a mandate. That restaurant encounter changed me, changed my whole thought process of being an entrepreneur. I mean, like I said, you really don't think about that. I mean, shoot, I had at the height, I had like three full-time employees, and like 9 to 12 contractors. It's downsized a little bit, but not that much. But you don't really think, I got a company. Yeah, we're incorporated. Yeah, we got a tax ID number. We pay our taxes. We do this, we do that. But you're not really thinking about that when you're in spaces where other people can see you And especially the least of these, black and brown and poor white people, when they can actually see you interacting, when they can see you and they look at themselves in you, you don't have to say nothing to them to motivate them. Your everyday life is motivating them. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, you have people who have a lot more money than I do, that what they do is they floss. Floss, for my people who don't know what flossing is, they show off basically. They always got to be driving the fastest car, have the nicest chick, have the biggest house. And I'm not throwing shade on that at all. I'm not though, because we got a pretty big house, and I got a brand new car and all that type of stuff. So I'm not throwing shade on that because it'd be hypocritical. However, what I'm saying is just seeing you wearing those things, driving those things, being with those type of people, that's not necessarily motivating people to put in the work like you do. If you flossing with all sorts of jewelry and stuff like that, a lot of them, they be, okay, well, I got to go steal. I got to go rape. I got to go rob. I got to sell dope, whatever it is, to get those cars, to get those houses, to get those chicks, that type of stuff right there. So you can't really say it's 6 in one hand and half dozen in the other. It is you motivating people by the way you interact with not only them, but with other people on your level, to give them something to strive for. Okay. Now, me being in a club, I got bottles and I got big, iced. I'm all iced out and all that stuff there. I got 2 and 3 women and stuff like that, and people looking across the room. Again, what am I showing them? How am I motivating them in a positive way? Now, does that mean that every time somebody see you, they motivated to go out there and rob and steal? No, that'd be ignorant for me to say. But what I will say is, you don't have to go that far. You don't have to go overboard like that to motivate people. I motivated, me, Jay, we motivated that young man to be like, you know what? I'm in school, I'm waiting tables, I'm working in a pretty good restaurant and stuff like that. All I got to do is continue my studies, stack my little paper. And then when I'm ready to make that move, I can make that move like they made that move. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, anybody who knows, I got my start from my biggest and oldest client, Shaquille O'Neal. That's how I got my start. He was my first client, if you will, for the company. It was no company before him. He asked me to do a couple of things. Then he asked me, could I expand, get my fellas to help him out in certain things. And then I decided one night, hey, let's incorporate, let's roll it. It was 17 years ago. 17 years ago. We went into business 2001 in January. You follow what I'm saying? You feel me? So I'm sorry. Yeah, 2001. That's right. So I say this, to put it out as a video and not just answer each individual email or tweet and stuff like that. I decided to do this, just break it up a little bit and tell my story, and hope that not only there are people who are watching this show that that are motivated, but people who are watching this show who own something, who has a hair salon, who has a tattoo shop, who has a beauty salon, a racetrack gas station, a protection company, a finance company, a brokerage home, whatever. Understand that which much is given, whose much is given, much is required. And if we all decide and realize that, this world will be a lot better. So I hope I answered your questions. Not really questions, but I hope that, I explained that well enough to touch home, touch all the points that I wanted to touch, and realize, hey, if I motivate you, thank you. God bless you. If you have any questions or comments and stuff like that, you bringing something to bear, you're not sure about certain things, hit me up. I'll be the first one to say, hey, I don't know anything about that. But that's what I'm there for. That's what I'm there for. So before we leave, we want to talk about the email address. What is this? It's what's the real deal 68@gmail.com. That's what's the real deal 68@gmail.com. The parent company website is www.bigrichliveonthemic.com. You can go there and you have all the shows. Plus, we got these bomb, man. I'm not gonna. I need to. I keep forgetting. I need to bring another shirt so I can show you the back of it because it's bomb. But we got these shirts on sale for, I want to say, $21. Various colors, various sizes. A large part of the proceeds to go to the American Cancer Foundation. Because they help me out, continue to help me out. They help a whole lot of other people out. So if we can get you guys to kick in and make some orders, we'll definitely do that. So in the meantime, in the between time, stay blessed, stay safe, stay woke. Peace, and I'm out.